Oh, I got you the most, Rosie, because it's your first time.
Rosie, I'm drinking drive.
Yeah, I'm driving.
Oh,
Because I'm.
that's a shame.
Yeah, I'm on my B's, I'm sorry.
Hmm.
I mean, I'll keep it there, just for uniformity, but I won't be drinking any.
I'm like...
You can drink it. We can just do a quick speech.
Oh yeah, you won't have enough time. I don't know exactly how many drinks, standard drinks are in there, but...
Well, what? That's a 180ml cup-ish. And then,
Okay.
do you know your dilution of your wine by any chance? Or was it just a
It
standard?
was 1-to-1.
Oh, it's 1-to-1?
Yeah,
So what?
but that's not wine though.
Okay.
It's wine and Ibina. 1 to 1.
I also
No.
put other stuff in the blend.
Like water.
Yeah.
So it's not quite 1-to-1.
It's
Like
more
1 to
like
1.01.
3-to-1.
3 being the wine or water.
Oh my god.
Oh, I guess. No, I guess not then. Yeah, it's more like 1 to 3 or whatever. Of
So in a pie chart, in a pie chart with 4 bits,
It's
3
oh,
bits
Jesus
of
Christ. Okay.
water and 1 bit wine.
It's
Just make it real clear for you, Dave.
How about we go 3 bits of not alcohol and
It's-
1 bit alcohol?
it's-
So we don't have to specify.
1 to 4. It's for every bit.
Wonderful. What?
For every bit of wine, there's 4 bits of not wine.
Got it.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
I have prepared for this eventuality.
really,
Yeah. I have a contingency plan for you. Welcome to Blended Philosophy. Here today we have with us Rosie.
Hi.
You can wave at the camera if you want, but I
Okay.
suspect they won't see you. I tend to overlay the audio with video. So.
Sounds great.
I'm trying to find my notes. In case you're wondering why I'm turning pages.
Dave, why do you skip pages?
Oh, you mean when I'm writing? I'm not looking for everything. But, I don't know, it's more aesthetically pleasing when I started it. I mean, I guess technically it still is, but it just makes things a little harder to find.
Is it at least without being chronological order?
Sorry, what?
It's not, is it? It's not chronological.
Oh no.
It's just random.
I guess it is now.
At some point
It
chronological.
wasn't when I started. Yeah.
Well, then your first entry it wasn't.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Do you need a rundown of the rules? I can do that.
Yeah, that sounds great.
The blended philosophy rules, guidelines, and don't get bogged down on the terminology. No banana, no AIDS. Please don't meet on a monthly basis. It's us. Think something unique and answer last questions. One at a time. Yeah, the idea is to record everything so that future generations and evolutions don't have to what should we do, they just get started in the implementation phase. Watch it. That's it. Yeah, I shouldn't even start saying but that's... Wow! Your astrology is outstanding! Just wrong.
Astrology is something else.
So yeah, well, they go hand in hand, right? Or more like hand in hand, because astrology isn't real science. I'm willing to prove it wrong, by the way, happy to. It just has to be not a hand. You know, like, what's so ridiculous? You can still go in the hand, but it's not in all hand. Yeah, technical. Cool, so there's a topic. The topic for this episode is death, and there's a primary question. Yeah. And secondary questions to answer the primary questions. So the first, so the question we're going to answer tonight is what is death? Basically, we go through just a bunch of options until we get the right one. There's something in here about me having a drink. Each participant must drink their beverage. / wait for everyone else to finish it. So if you want to opt out that, you can have the same amount I think vodka instead. If it was also upheld the vodka, then you just have to wait for us to finish our drinks. But you have to wait for the last person to finish the drink, not the first. So, yeah. I think that's pretty much it. Have I covered most things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the yes or no aspect.
Oh, right, yeah. So we'll be drinking and discussing, and then at the end of it, we ask questions like what is death, etc. And we'll take a vote, yes or no, yes or isn't, and then
But everything is like yes or no. It's a yes or no. Otherwise, it's probably secondary.
Secondary.
Every secondary question has a yes or no answer.
so it can't be held until Tuesday. So it's Tuesday tomorrow. No, it is. Yeah. Good one.
What?
Because you said yeah, I need bread. It doesn't matter. We go on again. Yeah. And we have until the beverage runs out. Oh, I'm sitting there like 200 minutes. No, 200 hours.
Right.
That's already.
It's already dead. We can start again.
Yeah. If things improve, I'm going to change it. That. I think that's everything. Any questions?
No.
Then, well, I have questions.
What's your question, Dave?
Alright, let's get started. Let's get into it. Is death, I think we touched on this the last time, but is death when no one on the physical plane wants to or can keep the person/creature alive?
Dave, my first question is, what is death? Right. Because, yeah.
That's the question.
But
Yeah.
what type of death?
Death. I can't distinguish the deaths. We're not going to list every type of death. We just want to know what death is.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. But like, you could your battery died.
Sure.
So the death of your battery is an event. You know?
I feel like that's hyperbole. Like, I love ice cream, and I actually.
Okay.
I guess love is kind of a different topic, but.
So death isn't can't involve batteries.
But also, if you relate it to the question you just asked, wouldn't that be no one with physical plane wants to keep alive?
But I want to keep my battery alive, keep it going, 24/7.
But then okay. But then, yeah.
Forever.
So I was like, isn't that. But it's not alive. But it doesn't matter because you want to keep it alive. Oh, no, but it's like keep. Keep. It's not alive to begin with, so your battery can't die. There's no death involved in it.
Okay.
I think it's a pretty good definition.
So yeah, it's
but I
not
don't
in a
think
figurative sense. It's used in a
100%
figurative
accurate.
sense with the battery. Figurative sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Any thoughts, opinions, agree, disagree?
With what?
The question, is death when no one on the physical plane wants to or can keep the person/creature alive?
No, because if there was only one person and no creatures, they're alive, and then, well, they'd be dead, even though we'd say they were alive. So there's only one person existing.
Wow.
Then there's no one else.
I'm going to be honest, I think quite well.
Okay, so everyone's dead,
Hmm.
and there's no animals, nothing living,
Sure.
except for him. So, okay, or her. So there's
Or
one
her,
person.
or like a person, okay.
A person.
Like, what,
A
the emu, or,
Yeah.
Yeah, a person exists,
Mhm.
and they are functioning like us now. So we'd say that they were alive.
Sure, yeah, I follow
Now,
so far.
with what you're saying,
Mm.
unless they can keep themselves alive by wanting themselves to be alive. What? That's then no one else is alive no one else is there to want to keep them alive, and so then they'd have to be dead, but then they're alive. So
it's want or can.
or
So if you don't want to keep someone alive, but you still can.
but there's no one else who can keep them alive.
Right.
Because it's just them, but they're actually, but they are alive.
So
So
they-
this would have them be dead, so it can't be.
But when you die, you can no longer want things. I'm not.
And
So
they want to be alive, well, we're assuming.
Yeah. Until of course they die,
But
and
that,
then they can no longer want things.
but that's
So
what I'm saying about the
deadness.
person themselves wanting themselves to be alive. And
Mm.
so then that's So you can use yourself in the definition.
Sure.
It's just a person.
What's your point?
So a person, myself, wants me to be alive.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm alive.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
So yes, the answer to the question is yes.
I'm a little confused. You guys ready to take a vote? I mean, normally we don't do it this quick into the session, but
I think, so what do they die by? So say this person suddenly is like, actually, I don't want to live anymore. And then, now they're dead, but they're still up, they have to, you get it?
I guess
So
but if they
so before they-
by definition.
but if they give up the will to live, like, I don't want to live anymore. But they can still keep themselves alive. There's still like food and water around for them to. I guess no food if nothing else is alive. But
What if they're so tormented they actually can't keep themselves alive because it's not in their
abilities.
ability, yeah. They, like, physically there's resources to keep them alive, but they aren't able to.
But that then come under the can to keep themselves.
so they're too like
They can't.
yeah, it's not physically capable to consume the resource.
More mentally capable. So,
Well, I think that would fall under want, because then if you're physically able, you can.
okay. So, okay, so if someone was on a raft
Uh-huh.
out at sea, but then there was no one else existing, and then they're sick
Sure,
of it,
yeah.
I don't want to live anymore,
Yeah.
then there's nothing for them to eat.
If we assume there's no fish under the raft,
Yeah,
or like birds or whatever.
yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
But then what would kill them? What would they die from? You get what I'm saying?
Well,
Like, they think
they
that,
would-
and then in that instance they, by the definition, be dead, but then
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
would still
So
be alive and
that's-
trying to kill them.
Well, depending on if there's any like bacteria or whatever that's around to kill them, I guess potentially they wouldn't die. But they wouldn't die from like a medical standpoint as we understand it now. I would suggest then, yeah, they would die because they've got they have no capacity to stay alive, and they've got the free will, and they choose to die, I guess.
But they haven't died yet.
Well, they haven't decomposed, they haven't stopped physically moving.
You
But
mean
maybe
they haven't stopped living?
But maybe-
That's the logic I mean.
yeah, I'm not going for that though. Maybe they've like in all senses of or most senses of the word, they have died. You know when someone's like they're a grumpy old fart and they don't really do anything, they're kind of just laying in bed all day. You say, well, that guy's dead. He might medically be alive.
Yeah, but that's
But
usually
if
get in a figurative
If you take
sense, like the
Well,
battery.
if you take that
That's like
same
someone
sort of
going,
notion.
you ain't living until
Yeah.
you've done this.
if you take that same sort of notion and apply it in a literal sense to the guy on the raft, then you can say, well, he has died for all intentions and purposes.
But he's living.
Why is he living? Why?
Because his body is still functioning. Particularly his brain.
So you think it's more about the brain then?
In this medical sense. So, you know, we would...
Well, so is it a medical thing or is it something else?
Well, that depends on what you mean by living. Because living and death
That's
are
kind of-
opposites.
That's
so,
kind of what we have to do. I mean,
so, no, but this is now not what it is, but what we should be. Because we're coming up, you know, you've got... so, you're just deciding, well, what should death be, not what it is.
no, I'm trying to figure out what it is. Yeah.
So,
I'm not saying it should be this, it should be that. I'm like, well, maybe this is what it is. Like, just because we're told it's when the heart stops beating. Well, that's great. For
how will
medical
you know
purposes,
if
but
you're right? It's a definition.
What do you mean? I don't.
You're saying you can't be wrong. You're just saying...
No, I'm saying. Well, there's nothing.
Do you get what I'm saying, Rosie?
Not particularly,
So
no.
he's just
There's nothing particularly.
Alright, let me
I
explain.
can't understand.
Alright, for it to be consistent, living and death have to be mutually exclusive and
Yes.
opposite, right? So, but you can then choose from the category of things that are mutually exclusive and opposite. For example, death is when you aren't holding a pizza, and living is when you are. Right?
But then we'd all be dead.
Yeah,
That's
but why is that wrong? Because then that would be begging that living is actually sort of this medical common sense that we have. Because before you were saying like on the raft, sure they might be, their body would be functioning, but they'd be dead. So you've just chosen what that you essentially you're just trying to fit at a certain relation between two concepts, life and death, but they're not actually tied to anything because you're deciding what the definition of those things should be.
Well, I'm not deciding. I'm just, okay, sure, they're not necessarily tied to anything. I mean,
But then it's
they might
arbitrary.
be,
It's
but,
completely arbitrary.
it's not completely arbitrary.
It is. Well, as long as it has the relation that they're opposites, and you can't be in both states at the same time. Or maybe you think you can be alive and dead at the same time, in which case you could just say being alive is being in that corner, dead. I mean, you're not in the corner. Or anything.
But you can't be in the corner and not in the corner at the same time.
Sure, but that was an example for where they're both happening at the same time.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying, Rosie?
Sort of, but at the same time, I understand that we want them to be mutually exclusive, so you can't say that they're happening at the same time. But in terms of like the raft scenario, because we decided that there was no way to sustain themselves, aka no birds to eat, no fish to eat, all the water around them is salt water, and they've then chosen they don't have the will to live, they don't have the will to paddle somewhere where they can get fresh water or whatever. We've then decided that in that moment they're dead because one, they don't have the means to sustain themselves any longer, and two, they've chosen that they don't want to find the means to sustain themselves for any longer. Thus, they're dead both mentally and soon to be physically.
I get that.
And that could be the concrete foundation.
What I'm getting at is a bit more
Cut
about
and dry.
how the question is laid out. So you're saying, you're trying to go, what is death? Now come up with like an infinite series for propositions. Death is Tuesday. Death is being tall. Death is having earwax. Death is whatever. Now, and then I say, well, how do we know you're
get
correct?
there? Because
Right.
you're retired. Yeah.
Now, I agree, that sounds quite dumb. But
No,
the
stop.
only-
Rewind. You're
Okay.
not getting to my point fast enough, so I have to do it for you.
You're not understanding what I'm saying.
We'll get there later, but
This is more important.
This is important.
but what I'm saying, just
See, you're
Hear me
asking
out.
what that is, but begging the question because you kind of already have an idea of what it is. You know? But then you're not saying that.
what was I doing? I've also, yeah, sure, I have like an infinite possible number of definitions, a number of possible definitions, and I've then narrowed it down to like common sense. Because obviously death is intrusive.
Okay, so what death is should be the agreement of our common senses then, is what you're saying. But,
No.
Okay, then how do you know which one's right?
I'm not
death is
saying
when you have
death.
no milk in the
Death
fridge?
should be this. I'm saying that death is death, and we have to figure out what that is. I feel like we can make a vote.
Okay, look, can you just explain to me why isn't death when you run out of milk in the fridge?
Because you can go out and get more.
Okay, so why isn't death? Continue on.
What do you mean, why doesn't
Well-
it continue on?
For
No, like fill in the expand dot dot. It's like a dot 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 expand dot dot dot.
I think for two reasons there. For one, there's other things than milk.
So
That's a valid response. You can't argue that. The other reason is that milk isn't the center of the universe. Arguably, it could be physically the center of the universe. I don't know. But it's not the essence of life. It's not what makes things
Well, I mean,
flow.
you could argue that because babies need milk, but
That's true.
we'll just.
But baby humans need milk. Do baby chickens need milk?
No. So in terms of like being alive and living, and then death being polar opposites, it depends on how loosely you want to use the term living or alive. Because I mean, someone could literally say like, oh, I don't know, for argument's sake, going out bush and living off the land is truly living.
Oh, and that would be using it in the figurative sense. Which I mean,
Is what we're trying to eliminate at this point.
yeah. I just think the question doesn't make sense. Because you're asking what is something, but what do you mean what is something? Something is it's being defined to be a particular type of thing. So it's either you need to look at it up in a dictionary, or else you have to what is, and you have to define criteria for when the events match up.
But that's why I brought up the tree scenario earlier, because right now you're thinking of it as something that breathes, something that has a pulse. What about a plant? Or algae? Algae, literally all it does is photosynthesize.
Well then I just reframe it to be the biological processes required for the system to continue ceased.
But then you could talk about the, like, I would say viruses. Viruses by the medical community aren't seen as being alive, but they still go through biological processes. They can still influence other things in their surroundings, just like alive things can do.
But a virus is like a form of life, right?
Exactly.
So I'd say it's alive.
Exactly. But can you make that statement being like, yeah, but it doesn't perform its own biological processes. It forces something else to do it for it. It has to infect a host for it to be able to function.
Well, I think then it's just a matter of wording it to capture what it is that the thing should be doing.
But could a virus die? Because technically, it can live on anything, on a table, a chair, for extended periods of time. There are viral proteins found in ice caps from millennia ago. And realistically, if we gave them a host, they could continue to replicate. So did they ever truly die, even though they haven't had a host for millennia and they still haven't been able to do their processes?
What I say there is, it's like when a toy is broken. Right? You can put the toy in the box and not use it for ages, and then you come out and then if you turn it on or whatever, it should still work. It may be a bit rusty or whatever, but it can still do its thing. And so, in that way, you view everything as just a machine, like a toy. And when
The toy was never alive. It was just useful.
well, alive is sort of just saying it's a functioning machine. that's biological.
Okay, yeah, I'll accept that definition.
I wouldn't say that that's what it should be, but oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not necessarily what we would like to call alive.
Yeah.
I would happily have that as a definition for alive. Yeah. Phil David.
Oh, Rosie, did you want a drink?
No, I'm alright, thank you.
Why don't you fill David and Rosie?
Okay, so we were still trying to discuss alive and death because we're struggling with that apparently, and
Or don't have to drink big guy.
we came up with the definition of being alive is a machine that can perform biological processes.
Okay.
Because
Sure, let's.
my argument was that viruses, they, by the scientific and the medical community, are not seen as being alive because they can't do anything for themselves. They have to infect a host for them to do, for them to reproduce and basically live.
They're very lazy.
Yeah, and they can be, in like polar ice caps for millennia. Thus,
Okay.
and then you can actually bring them back to life, if that's what we're calling it, by giving them a host that it then bullies into doing its own biological processes for it. So, would you count that as being alive or dead? Because it hasn't done anything for millennia. It's basically been like a rock. It's just sat there. And rocks aren't alive.
I think it's influencing biology, and therefore it was never alive to begin with.
We've got two different choices there.
So then when someone says, oh, when you expose it to a high temperature, it kills it, this will kill the rocks.
But,
No, it would
but it
destroy the
doesn't
rock.
kill it. It just denatures its proteins. Which, I mean, we could do to people if you put them in high enough temperature.
That would be killing the person. Well, see,
Well, you could do the same to rocks.
but you see, this comes back to what I was saying about we're using kill to mean a particular sort of type of event, and then kill could be, it's all kind of
I see what you mean, but when you kill a rock, what's happening is you're corroding it. It's Gonski.
Yeah. It doesn't exist anymore. Or it does in tiny fragments.
Oh,
see-
so what you're really doing is multiplying.
Yeah.
It's not
Making
definitions,
more.
it's
So does that
relations
mean-
between things.
But does that mean reproducing would also be death? As in, like, if we're going with
Oh, this is all
multiplying.
Miss Gren.
That
Movement, reproduction, sex, MRS,
I have no idea what he's talking about.
G, something, R, or maybe it's just Gren, any like movement. Yeah, it's all the life processes. It's like in biology with that acronym. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Neither.
Excretion. That's one. Things that are alive excrete.
Okay.
Not just
Things
poo,
that
like-
excrete.
No,
Like,
just
It's anything. And then there's
cytotoxins.
movement, energy.
But protists don't move, but they do excrete, and their class was being alive.
Well, Miss Gren isn't perfect, like anybody. But my overall point here is the question just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm not engaging.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, what is death? It's arbitrary. What you're...
Maybe we need to be in a state of pure intuition. And then we can just say what death is. And we would have recorded it, and then once we come to some sort of neurological consciousness, we can play it back and we'll go, oh yeah, that's what death is.
Aren't you conscious right now?
We could talk about Legos for 30 seconds, and then when I feel like it's time, I'm going to go, oh, what's your definition of death? And like that way, you won't have time to think about it, and you just use your intuition. So when you have a blue brick and you put it next to a yellow brick, and then you get one of those door thingies, you know those, have you guys ever had those like, oh, first of all, have you guys had Lego sets?
Yes.
This would be, yeah, okay. You guys ever have those like doors, where you get them like, you put them down and
I don't know whether I've just seen
Yes.
doors or I had doors.
Okay.
I might have just had basic Lego.
Wait, is that why you got into computer science?
And not enough Legos. Well,
I don't understand how my joke was lost on you, because you had basic Lego.
oh. I see.
And then like, so you get all the bricks, and then you put like a door down, and then like you get the roof. What's the definition of death?
Death would be when you can no longer recycle the Earth's resources, like I said before.
You're outside of a helicopter, and your name is Samson.
When your intuition matches up to it.
Okay, cool. Now we've got 3 definitions of death.
You haven't said yours.
I did. When you're outside of a helicopter
Okay,
and
yeah.
your name is Samson. So we got 3 definitions of death. We just have to agree on one of these 3 or a 4th one.
I agree with mine.
Yeah,
Then
well, we can
Rosie's.
all. I agree with yours.
I agree with mine
I agree with
first,
yours.
then Rosie's, and yours a long last.
Do you agree with Henry's?
I mean, technically yes, but I don't
Okay.
like the definition.
Okay. Well, so we all agree on Henry's then.
Well, that's not what we've
Ima-
asked.
Imagine you took a gun and shot someone right in the head. They drop to the floor. Think about what state they're in. That abstract state is death.
But it,
According to Peter Stream, death is the abstract state of someone being on the floor after you have shot them in the head.
And that would apply to animals and other things as well.
Look, it's a very, sorry to cut you off. I just already had a thought and we talked at the same time, I guess. Yeah, that's a very abstract definition that we've come up with. But I think it works because death is one of those things, you know, it's not like a table. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay, cool.
Well.
I think the next primary question is going to be, should you kill a friend to put them out of their misery?
it's a tough one.
Do you guys want to do 6 o'clock again, or is there?
6 o'clock's a good time.
Yeah, it should be fine. I can't remember what my new timetable is, but it should be fine.
Cool. We have more to discuss. Okay, cool. All right. If you like that video, hit the like button. Share it to all your friends. Get them to like it too. And if it's the most liked video as of January 1st, 2021, we'll make another one just like it. But
2021.
bigger. Yes.
Oh.
And the
That's
best
just-
is... Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Just checking.
Cool. And that will come out on the first Saturday of February 2021. Alright, I'll turn it off. It is my camera after all.